Welcome back, Deep Divers. Today we're diving headfirst into the world of Bitcoin. But not just Bitcoin itself, we're going deeper. We're trying to uncover the mystery surrounding its creator, Satoshi Nakamoto.
Ah, Satoshi Nakamoto. The name echoes in the halls of the internet, doesn't it? A ghost in the machine.
Right, and we've got a whole stack of articles, forum posts, and even some, well, let's call them theories, all about this enigmatic figure. So strap in, because we're about to go deep, deep down the rabbit hole.
Sounds like a fascinating journey. I'm ready when you are.
All right, so let's start at the very beginning. October 31st, 2008, Halloween. Satoshi Nakamoto releases a white paper, a document that would change the world.
Bitcoin, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. A title that, at the time, probably didn't mean much to most people.
But it was revolutionary. This white paper laid out a vision for a digital currency, free from the control of governments and banks, completely decentralized.
Now, this wasn't the first time someone had thought about digital cash.
Right, but Satoshi's white paper was different.
It was a blueprint, a practical plan for a system that could actually work.
And the timing was crucial. The world was reeling from the 2008 financial crisis. Banks were collapsing, governments were scrambling, and trust in the traditional financial system was plummeting.
Remember that headline Satoshi embedded in the very first block of the Bitcoin blockchain?
Oh, you mean the Times 03 Jan 2009 Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks? Chills, man. Chills.
A statement, perhaps. A subtle jab at the very institutions Bitcoin was meant to circumvent.
I mean, you gotta wonder, right? It's like Satoshi was saying, look, the system's broken. Here's an alternative.
And that alternative was built on a foundation of anonymity. Satoshi Nakamoto, to this day, remains a pseudonym, a phantom.
So why the secrecy? Why go to such lengths to remain hidden?
Well, some argue that it was essential to Bitcoin's success. By remaining anonymous, Satoshi ensured that Bitcoin would be decentralized, not tied to any one individual.
It's like the ultimate expression of decentralization. The creator steps back, letting the creation speak for itself.
Precisely, and this anonymity fuels the mystery, the intrigue. It's part of what makes Satoshi Nakamoto such a captivating figure.
Absolutely. But even though they valued their privacy, Satoshi wasn't a complete ghost. We have chases of their online activity, right?
Oh yes. Forum posts, emails, code contributions, little digital breadcrumbs scattered across the early days of Bitcoin.
Mostly on forums like Bitcoin Talk, which, fun fact, Satoshi themselves founded.
And in these communications, we see someone deeply passionate about the technology, someone who, time and again, deflected attention away from themselves and onto Bitcoin itself.
It's fascinating, isn't it? This dedication to the project, this unwavering commitment to anonymity.
Absolutely. But then, in 2011, it all stopped.
Vanish. Poof. Gone.
Their last known communication, an email to developer Mike Hearn, simply stated, "I've moved on to other things."
And that was it. The curtain fell.
Leaving behind a void, a mystery that continues to captivate and confound. Who was Satoshi Nakamoto?
And why did they disappear?
Well, let's dig into some of the theories, some of the names that have been linked to this elusive figure.
Like trying to find a needle in a haystack, right? Except the haystack is the entire internet.
You could say that. So, okay, we have these potential candidates, these names swirling around in the ether. But what was it actually like back then, in those early days of Bitcoin? I mean, we're talking about a time when Bitcoin was practically worthless.
Oh yeah, those Wild West days. You could mine Bitcoin on your laptop.
And, you know, people were, I mean, I think there's that story, right, where someone bought a couple of pizzas with 10,000 Bitcoin.
Yeah. And now those pizzas would be worth, what, like millions? A small fortune?
Exactly. It just goes to show, right, how much things have changed. It's gone from this niche little experiment, this digital curiosity, to a global phenomenon.
And it's had its fair share of bumps along the way. Hacks, scams, you name it. And then there's the volatility.
Oh, the infamous volatility. Those wild price swings that can make your head spin.
Makes you wonder who's got the strongest stomachs in this game, the investors or the developers?
Probably a bit of both. You know, I think it's easy to get caught up in the hype, the speculation, the price fluctuations, but beneath all that, there's this groundbreaking technology.
The blockchain.
Exactly, blockchain. And it's not just about Bitcoin, right?
It's about so much more. It's got the potential to revolutionize all sorts of industries.
I mean, we're already seeing it, right? Supply chain management, you can track products from their source all the way to the consumer.
Transparency and accountability.
Exactly. And then there's voting systems. Imagine secure and tamper-proof elections. I mean, the implications are huge.
You know, it's funny. We started out talking about this mysterious figure, Satoshi Nakamoto, and now we're talking about, like, the future of democracy.
It all comes back to Bitcoin, doesn't it? And the ideas that Satoshi set in motion. By the way, speaking of Satoshi, have you ever wondered how much Bitcoin they might actually own?
Oh, yeah? Like, are they sitting on a digital gold mine somewhere?
Well, researchers have been digging around, and they found something pretty interesting. They call it the Satoshi pattern. It seems like early on, a single miner was responsible for a huge chunk of the Bitcoin mined.
Like, how much are we talking?
Estimates say about 1.1 million Bitcoin. And here's the kicker. Those Bitcoin have never been moved, never been spent.
So, potentially, Satoshi is one of the wealthiest people on the planet.
It's possible. I mean, imagine if they decided to cash out.
The market would go crazy. But, I don't know, something tells me they won't. It just doesn't seem like their style.
I agree. It's more about the vision, the principles, than the personal gain. And maybe that's the real legacy of Satoshi Nakamoto, right?
A legacy of ideas. So, where do we go from here? I mean, Bitcoin has come a long way. It's not just some fringe experiment anymore.
It's true. It's gone mainstream. But what does the future hold? That's the million-dollar question, or should I say, the million Bitcoin question.
Yeah. I mean, are we all going to be paying for our coffee with Bitcoin someday?
Well, maybe, but there are still some big challenges ahead.
Like what?
Well, regulation for one. Government are still trying to figure out how to deal with cryptocurrency.
Yeah, it's a whole new world for them. And then there's security.
Right. Hacks, scams, things like that. Those are real concerns. It's important to be careful to do your research.
So, for someone who's new to all this, who's maybe a little intimidated, where do they even begin?
Honestly, start with education. Learn the basics. There are so many resources out there now, websites, books, podcasts even.
Deep dives.
Exactly. Take the time to understand what Bitcoin is, how it works, the risks and the rewards.
Don't just jump in blindly.
Right. And when you're ready to invest, start small. Only put in what you can afford to lose.
It's a volatile world out there.
It is, but it's also incredibly exciting. Cryptocurrency has the potential to change the world.
And who knows, maybe someday we'll even find out who Satoshi Nakamoto really is.
Maybe. But even if we don't, their legacy lives on.
In the technology, in the community, in the ideas that continue to inspire and challenge us. This has been a deep dive into the world of Bitcoin and the mystery of Satoshi Nakamoto. We've covered a lot of ground. And hopefully we've given you some food for thought.
Whether you're a seasoned investor or just starting to explore this world, one thing's for sure, cryptocurrency is here to stay, and it's going to be fascinating to see what happens next.
Absolutely. So keep learning, keep exploring, and as always, keep diving deep.